I watched The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 5. Wendy, I bet you are glad that the Braxtons came on Friday and we stopped talking about you, and instead we were concerned about who Tamar slept with that belonged to Tony. Now, according to something they did not show, and I saw it on another clip, Tamar admits to the producer when he pulls her in the room after her video or during her video and said to her, "You and your sister should not be fighting like this." Tamar says, "How could one sister say that, do that to another? What Tawanda was talking about happened 30 years ago." That would mean Tamar was 18. Of course, I didn't do this to any of my sisters, and they didn't do that to each other. But I know they happen to be white, of a classmate and a year older sister, and they did that to each other as young people around that age, 17, 18. That's generally when things like that could happen, or if you're just in very close proximity and always around each other. So it looks like this is something that happened when Tamar was 18. And I'll probably mention it again when I talk about the Braxtons. Back to The Real Housewives of Potomac. You guys need to leave Angel alone. Angel was in her feelings. Angel will look at these clips, and I promise you, or at this show, and she will get her a trainer. Of course, she's larger than she was. They have a point of saying she's had a baby 18 or 20 months ago. But as I am speaking, I assure you, Angel is eating better and working out if she wants to continue to be on this show, because Kiara, Jazz, and all these girls, including Giselle, of course, all of them, and I don't know why I forget Ashley's name, and Ashley, of course, Stacy, who's too thin, but all of these young ladies look absolutely fabulous. So, Angel, I'm sure you're going to tighten up. That does not mean you look bad, but since you cried the way you did when Giselle said that that couldn't have been you, that was filtered, that clip of you coming onto the show, that marketing promo pic, it didn't look like you. And I too thought the same thing, but you can tell that it is you. You're just thinner there. Like you said, it was a picture you took a long time ago. And you stayed in your feelings for a minute because you told the ladies at the meal that they were having at the end of the show, "Am I going to be on the menu tonight?" Wendy had gotten sick. Wendy wasn't there. And Wendy also was in her feelings, so I think she might have had food poisoning. But anyway, she said she felt like she had the flu. It probably was something she ate. I'm pretty sure Wendy washed her hands, but it could have been something she ate. So she wasn't feeling well, even when they got to the shop where they were buying T-shirts and other stuff. And she had to sit on the steps, and Giselle and the producer agreed that she should go back on the van and get some air. So Wendy, they all go to Wendy's, they celebrate Wendy's birthday. And Kay makes sure she goes to the room early. And it's not that she didn't want to celebrate Wendy, like she said at the table. She didn't like the way Angel was being treated. She was over it, all about the filtering statement, and she was just done with it. And yes, Kay really did look tired, because I know these girls have to film, so they have to go. When they really want to come to a place after traveling, take a shower and take a nap, and then get out for a few hours and come back and go to bed, and then you're ready for the next day. I digress, because I'm referring to myself. That is what I would want to do. But they have to film. So Jazz was making it a point by the end of the show that Wendy allegedly said that Kay could not be trusted. No, it was Kay who said that Wendy cannot be trusted. And she said if Wendy knew everything Kay has said about her, she would be very upset. The producer said from 1 through 5, and she said, 8.5 is how much she would be upset. I don't know. What these things, or you said something about me, I think that's what people do. I don't think the average person really gets too angry when they hear that somebody says something about them. It's almost expected, unfortunately. And we move on. And because you guys have to, do a show, you have to entertain us and say these kind of things and do a lot of backbiting. But I am proud of Angel. Around the table, they were playing a game at Wendy's brief birthday party and said, Angel, if you had to kill somebody right now, who would you kill? And she said Giselle, because she was very hurt, about the filtering comment. And she's a younger lady, but I'm telling you, I'm so used to women being mean, being bad, being backbiting, that I don't think I would have been upset. So I probably wouldn't be good for these shows. Or maybe I'd be great, because whatever you said or did would roll off my back. I probably would say, well, I don't expect you to be my friend. I expect us to be cordial to each other and to make this money with each other. That is real life. I like that the guy who picked them up to take them out on the excursion for the day, he took them to the shop where you can buy merchandise and Neva's t-shirts. That's the island where they were. He put on his music, and they were jamming to his music. And I'm like, all right, Kenny, let America know that you are out there. And then they all got on the, they call it the steel drums. They look like tin cans, almost. I would say when I was younger, I recall bathing in one of those little round tin tubs. That's almost what it looked like. But Wendy got out the van briefly to beat on that drum with the rest of the girls, because that did look like fun. And everybody who was around did gather to watch them with the men beat on these 10 drums and clap. Okay, so obviously I enjoyed this season 10, episode 6 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And Giselle was sorry, Angel. She really was. So hopefully you really forgave her. And I look forward to what's going to happen next week. Peace and blessings. Have a good one.